Hello everyone, welcome to Gossip with CD. So guys, before you ask me a lot of questions about Zanzu, I am still recovering. I regret clicking on the video that somebody sent to me regarding this matter and asked, hey, CD, what are your thoughts? And at first I was like, are we in Liberia 1990 something? You remember in Liberia, people were being treated like this. Somewhere their arms were being chopped off type of situation. I was like, and I was shocked to hear this was happening in the capital city of our country. Yes, the same capital city that the green, white, and green people are saying, oh, you need to cut off this piece of land and call it Little Lagos. Imagine a South African going to Washington, D.C. and telling Donald Trump or petitioning Donald Trump to make a portion of Washington, D.C. as Little Johannesburg. Hey? Fire! That is a declaration of war right there. The disrespect. But I'm still recovering. Once I've recovered and gathered my thoughts, I will come back to you guys because I don't know why we keep talking about this. And why the same culprits? Well, you know what? A leopard never changes its spot. These people have total disregard for black people. And I'm talking about the owners of Zanzu because they are the same owners of Babel. And our South African police, I still say there needs to be a overhaul of the South African police service. Let's start it from scratch. Who is with me? Let's start it from scratch. We need to have cameras in police stations that are loud and audible and clear. And we need body cams on our police officers. The only time they will take them off is when they are at home taking a shower. And what else do we? Our vans and police vehicles. We need those. And this is upsetting, people. This is very upsetting. I don't want to lie. I'm livid. So much so that I cannot talk. I mean, just yesterday, day before yesterday, my mouth, I needed to wash it with soap because of the amount of swearing I was doing because of Make Apartheid Great Again. And now I have to come back with this one. No. But the point of this video is not about Zanzu. The point of this, what is even Zanzu? What is that? Anyways, it's about Chidimma Adetshina. Yeah, you opened the door, right? So it's open forever. And I don't want to hear anybody come in the comments and say, leave the girl alone. No, when I leave this channel alone. If you don't want to hear about Chidimma, it's easy. Social media, let me put it this way. YouTube has been around since 2005. There are block buttons, and now we have smartphones where you can actually use your finger and scroll up. You do not have to make a comment. If you don't like hearing about this topic, go deal with it. In fact, go fly a kite. Now, let's come back to this story. You know, I've been observing the Chidimma story and also trying to get little birdies to whisper in my ears about what's really going on. Guys, it is bad. And when I say it's bad, it is bad. What do you call this? Miss Universe first runner-up. She's on Uzibulala watch right now. Now, what is making her feel powerless? You remember, Chidimma's mother was arrested on Saturday evening in Cape Town, and she was in some residence with Chidimma's child, right? A 3-year-old, I think the child is. And now, of course, when the police are coming to arrest a suspect, and they find the suspect with a minor child, obviously, if there's no any other relatives who are adults or of age to take this child into their own custody or guardianship, the police have no any other choice but to ring the social development department. And we're talking social workers here. And when we're talking social workers here, we are talking the child going into the system. Now, this is the saddest part for me that I keep finding out. This child, nobody is claiming him. Not the father, not the grandfather, not even Chichi herself. You know why? Because if they did go and fetch the child from social services, the social services, of course, you're going to have to identify yourself. Who are you? And in identifying yourself, that means you have to produce a valid identification, which also includes, if you're a foreign national, your visa that says you are legally in South Africa. If you are not on a visa, but you are a permanent resident, then you have to produce relevant documents. But they don't have those. So as we speak, the poor thing is abandoned because people who thought they were being smart and they thought they will outsmart the systems of the country they are going to be illegally at by getting there and stealing the rightful citizen's identity document, and then rendering her as a ghost in her own country where she couldn't have a birth certificate for her own child. And when that child becomes a school-going age, cannot be registered in a school. The child could not also get government grant. The child, when he's sick, they need a birth certificate for immunization. It doesn't exist. I'm even worried about that 23-year-old child, whether that child was ever immunized. And then on top of that, the mother could not open a bank account if she got a job. It's crazy how some people think that they will go and make other people's lives an inconvenience, and you think karma is not gonna come back and bite you in the butt? Come on. Now an innocent baby is probably dumbfounded, probably have been I keep imagining this child. Do you know how it's like to be abandoned? I don't think any of us understand that, especially as a child. This child is traumatized. Fortunately, South African social development is not like that of the United States, where you actually get traumatized. Like you live a life of trauma. They are very attentive, very loving, very caring, and they make sure that the child's emotional state of mind and psychologically, they are intact. They will make the child feel so at home and welcomed and loved that they may not actually think, of course, you will think about your mom, you will think about your grandmother, the people the faces that you are used to. I'm sure that child is wondering what's going on. But nobody is claiming him because the people that's supposed to go claim him, they are afraid of getting arrested too, because they are ineligible aliens in South Africa. And of course, hello, we are dealing with green, white, and green here. Do you think the businesses they are running as well in South Africa are legit if you are illegally in South Africa? No. So they don't want to lose that income. They don't want to lose that status. I heard rumors somewhere that one of our own female celebrity got hold or got her claws gripped into Chidimma's ex-husband's, I don't know how true that. But I hope that this South African celebrity lady will say, hey, go get the child. Because I'm now smelling convenient marriage so that this guy can start a process of becoming a resident of South Africa legally through marriage. Yeah. Guys, I don't know. I feel terrible for this child. I really do. I really, really do. And now Chichi is crying. She's crying about her mom being arrested. And of course, she's a mama bear. She's mama bear at the end of the day. And as a human being, and this is her doing, by the way. All you had to do when South Africans said, listen, we don't have a Adetshina as a surname and a Chidimma as a name in our culture as South Africans, step aside, you should have stepped aside. And secondly, when things started unraveling, and then Home Affairs found out that indeed your mom stole somebody else's identity document, I made a video and I said, if I was Chidimma, who is starting LLB and knows about representations, all I would do is I would respond to Dr. Leon Schreiber, the Minister of Home Affairs, and say, listen, and I would write a representation of no more than 1,000 words and say, I was unaware, as you would know, that my mom had stolen a South African lady's identity so that I get an identity and grow up under the conditions that I grew up under as a South African citizen. Leon Schreiber would have understood, especially if you're going to put a sentence in that representation and say, South Africa is the only home I've known. My father may be a Nigerian, but the last time I was in Nigeria, I was 3 years old. I have no recollection of Nigeria, how it looks like, how it smells like, including my father's family, etc., and so on. I mean, a reasonable minister will say, you know what, this is reasonable enough. And then we create a whole identity document for you. And then you now a South African citizen. And then in 2025, you can now freely enter Miss South Africa as Chidimma, Vanessa, Onwe, Adetshina. You could have done that. Yes, we would have said, but Oksalayo, at the end of the day, you would have been made naturalized South African citizen who will enjoy South African privileges and joys. But no, because she was too ambitious, she took an offer that now when she realizes it was nothing but a house of cards, castles in the air, and all is crumbling down. And that same guy who was lying through his teeth, the one that took you from South Africa and offered you Miss Nigeria, what do you call this, crown? I hear the relationship is bad because he still hasn't paid her, allegedly. Remember, she won 100,000 Rand according to the prices as Miss Universe Nigeria. To this day, she hasn't gotten a cent of it, allegedly. And so the relationship soured. And I'm thinking, I don't think you understand green, white, and green people, how they think, especially when it comes to money. I don't think you understand. For a half green, white, and green person, you ought to have known that when it comes to money, these people will sell their own. Yeah, let's leave it there. It's crazy. But I keep thinking about that poor baby. Innocent soul. All because the mother was too ambitious. All too ambitious. And I say it again to those of you who don't understand how South Africa works. When South Africans say, hey, government, 1, 2, 3, government is not going to argue and say 3, 4, 5. It's not. It's going to say, okay, we will do your 1, 2, 3. Anyways, guys, let me first calm down. I've been trying to calm down since yesterday about the Zanzu evil. You will hear from me about it. All right. Anyways, guys, please don't leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.